Morning everybody, and Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I've just done a little video of the dilucot method, which is one stone hone with a cuticle. This little tiny thing I used, this is all I've got now. I've sold a lot of my cuticles over the years. So that's, I think it might be a livernet layer. It's nice and hard anyway. That's the slurry stone I used on it. And that's the razor that I use, which is a crop 6/8. So I actually doubled the razor on the side of the stone, or the cup, I can't remember. Set the bevel on the cuticle with heavy slurry, didn't take long, and then just diluted through to finishing on water, and a little bit of soapy water. I'm watching Sean and the lads cuticle honing, so I've gone back to my old roots and thought I'd give it a go myself. I used to use cuticles exclusively. Had some marvellous edges. They are frustrating stones, but very rewarding, and some people have got the patience, some haven't. I mean, I used to spend hours and hours and hours doing dilucot. It was a guy that Bart Toffs who taught me, and I thought I was getting good cuticle edges until I actually sent a razor to Bart to be honed. When he sent it back, I just couldn't believe how good it was. So that's what made me chase that edge, and I did get there in the end. But as of late, since 2008, I've been doing this, and I guess you could say I'm a bit lazy. And I kind of mastered synthetics and got the most out of those as well, because people who get harsh edges off of synthetics, they're doing something wrong, because you can get a smooth edge off synthetics. It's a lot more consistent, a lot easier, but the cuticle does have a unique feel, and also the owning experience of the cuticle. I find it a pleasure to hone on the cuticle. So anyway, I'm going to get lathered up, going to try this razor. I'm not sure what it's going to be like. First time I've done it for a while. I've not really HHT'd it properly. It's passing on thick hairs, not on the fine stuff, so we'll see. Just give it a go. I did do a little video of the dilucot with this razor. It's not a very good video, but I will upload it. Been using this Signature soaps, quite a nice shape. Got a 2-day growth here. It's going to be interesting to see how well I've done on this cuticle edge. It was only a 10-minute, I didn't put a lot of effort into it, but I think the more you overthink the cuticles, the more you do, sometimes the worse it gets. But you do need to put plenty of strokes in with the dilucot method. I mean, like Sean was saying, the slurry kind of dulls the edge as you're going along. You thin it out so the edge gets more and more refined. And then eventually you get to water, and that will bring that edge back up to where it should be. But the only snag with cuticles is they are extremely slow with water. Sometimes just haven't got that refining power to bring that edge where you'd like it. So just take a little bit of practice, getting to know your stone. If you're going to buy a cuticle, stick with it for at least 6 months and don't give up. When I started out, it was basically purely one stone hone. I had no other razor hones. I just used a cuticle with thick slurry to reset the bevel. And some cuticles with slurry are very, very fast. Some are not so fast. Some cuticles slurry dull more than others. Some cuticles are slightly faster on water, only slightly. I always drop 60 linen, 60 leather after a cuticle honing. It's the linen that really does help. Let's see what this is like. it's picking up on me. It's not pinging like with synthetic edges, but I mean, I have had cuticle ownings in the past where I've absolutely annihilated blonde fine hair on the hair test. So I do know they are capable of doing that, but oh, here it goes, let's see. To be honest, that's not bad at all. So I've not done it for a long time, just shaving anyway. It's the thing with a cuticle is it feels like you're shaving with a dull edge, but you're not. You don't get that sharp feeling. It's as if the edge is not cutting, but it is actually cutting. It's shaving. It's relatively smooth. I do know from experience. I think it could be a little bit better. That's no doubt down to me and my honing there. But it's very, very, very close to a good cuticle. So I've got a thick stubble. Let's see what it's like around the moustache. Yeah, it could be a little bit better. Got 2 spots there, so they're probably going to bleed. Yeah, it's just lacking a little bit of keenness. Just a little bit of keenness is just lacking. Tiny bit. Let's go across the grain, see what we got. I mean, I have had cuticle edges plenty of times that are the smoothest edges that you'll ever shave with. No doubt about that. This is just, it's shaving, but it's just got a feel to it that it shouldn't have, and it's just, you having to just push it through the tough parts a little bit more. On the first pass that was anyway. But not uncomfortable there. I mean, this is really smooth across the grain. Yeah, it's good. It's just not as keen as a synthetic edge. But it's very doable. I think if anybody had not been straight shaving that long, they'd probably think this was a good edge, you know. Just lacking a little bit, just a little bit. I mean, but you know, I'm going across the grain here and it's fine. As you can see, it's doing the job. I mean, my best ever edges with a cuticle, I was lucky enough to own one of the first Les Lats that ever came onto the market. And very sharp edges, very smooth. Why I sold that stone I'll never know. And then my other Levanet, I sold that as well, but that just did not fail. Let's try the 20k edge on this side with the Philharmonica. I'm sure this is going to be a bit sharper. Yeah, I mean, see the difference? It's just that a little bit better. That's how a razor should feel, really. Off, and it is possible off a cuticle. I think that's one of the reasons why because when I first started with coticals, I was adamant it was one stone hone, cotical every single day. I practiced and practiced and practiced. And in that period, I did actually buy a set of Nanuas, used them a couple of times, hated them, gave me awful edges. I just didn't know when to move from one stone to the next. Whereas with dilucot, you just set your bevel and then you just dilute through. So you don't take much thinking, you just dilute slowly, finish on water. So I sold the Nanuas, went back to the cuticles for a few years. And then, as daft as it sounds, went back to the Nanuas. I must have had 3 sets of Nanua Superstones. And then the thicker ones came out and I went back into them, and I thought I'm going to stick at it this time. And I stuck at it with the synthetics, and it paid off. I started to get better edges, and the problem is, going from cuticle honing, you can do as many strokes as you wish with no adverse or any problems or any issues. Whereas if you go mad on the synthetic, which, because I was doing a lot of strokes on the cuticles, I was taking that style of honing over to the synthetics, and I was just overdoing it. And I suddenly realised that, you know, you only need a few light polishing strokes after the 5k or on the 8k and the 12k, and my edges started to get better and better and better. And there's no doubt about it. I can get smooth edges off synthetics now. A cuticle edge, if it's done to perfection, you will never get that smoothness with any other stones, apart from polygenats. So, all you cuticle owners, I was there once upon a time, doing what you were doing, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and it improved my honing by far. But that's one of the reasons. I'm just probably getting lazy and getting older, but I've been there, done it, wore the t-shirt with the cuticles and the natural stones, and all the time I was learning to hone. Lynn Abrahams was the main man at the time. Bart was the main man for the cuticles, and you know, you did get a lot of silly arguments on the internet. People slatering cuticles, people slatering synthetics, people saying that cuticles, you know, I've used 300 cuticles and I've only come across one good one. That's bullshit. And back in the day when I started, there was some beautiful looking coticools. I must have owned at least 60, 70 coticools. Really, really are nice stones to work with. I've got that one there, about 95% I'd say. Probably just needs a little bit more work on water, or go back to a very, very light slurry and bring the edge back again. And a good stropping. But honestly, I just, not that I can't be bothered. I just go for the easier route now, and I'll always have a coticool lying around somewhere. Let's be right about it. Honing on synthetics is just pure boring. It's just a stone. There's no character to it. It does what it does on what it says on the box. Whereas a coticool, you buy a coticool and you get it and you use it, and you never know what you're going to get until you use it. And that's the good thing about coticools. They just really do vary. They feel good when you're using them. Some are rapid with slurry. Some are harder than others. Been using this filly. This is about my 7th shave with this. I gotta say, you can't beat a filly neither. So I wasn't far off with that dilucot. Not far at all. Just needs, I think if I got a little bit more keenness out of it, it'd be really smooth. I mean, being a barber for 35 years, working in a shop that's been established since 1934, 30 years ago I started in this shop, and guess what I found? I found Jim's dad's shaving equipment and razors, because he did wet shaving back in the day. And guess what stone I found? A little Belgian coticool, which at the time I'd not got a clue about it. You won't believe this, but I cleared everything out and it went down the cellar. The cellar got flooded and it all got put in the skip. God, I mean, looking back now, I can remember this little coticool. It was only about 4 times 2, and it had gone like that in the middle. It had been worn out that much. It had convexed or concaved. So you got that sort of shit where he'd actually used it that much. He'd actually wore the stone down, and that just proves as well that his dad never flattened the stones. He just used it and used it and used it. And never used slurry with it, because I asked his son, and he said he used to make a little bit of slurry, but then used to use a strop with red paste on after that, just to bring the edge up, and that's all they used. I should imagine back in them days, his dad probably had a guy come out and reground his razors. But my first straight razor was a Sheffield's, John Clark's, and it was Jim's dad. Well, Jim's 94 now, his dad died years ago. And that was my very first razor that Bart homed up on a Belgian coticool, and it's shaved, the best shave ever. Beautiful. Yeah, so I wished I'd a new one known But yes, the band's shaving in about the 60s or something, Jim was telling me. And that was the end of the cut throat shaves in the barber shop until these Turkish come out with these shavette blades. So that cuticle attempt was very, very, very close. It was good enough to shave with, but it wasn't well, it wasn't, how can I put it? It was good enough to shave with, but I know from experience that you can get a little bit smoother than that. It was just lacking that bit of butteriness in certain areas, especially around here. But you could shave with that if you weren't bothered, it'd be fine. Some people might think it's good, but I know that you can get a better edge than that with a cuticle. And I think the lads that use them will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's my attempt. I don't know how to do another one, but enjoy the rest of your day. As you can see, I've got a few spots, bloody things. Don't know where they've come from. Probably all the chocolate and crisp and biscuits I've been eating over Christmas. All the crap. Can't wait to get back to normal. Anyway, have a nice day, lads, and catch up with you later. Bye for now.